Coast of Milo Falls racing for June deadline. The president meets opposition leader ahead of the 2030 national budget, and a U.S. military chief meets the head of state. Welcome to this week's edition of The Diary, the Government Information Agency program that provides a recap of the highlights of the country's president for the week January 12 to 18. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Fabian Krause. Stay tuned.
Amerindians are now fully involved in every aspect of development, from the highest level of decision-making to that of their communities. Amerindians have been catapulted into the mainstream of society because of the educational and other opportunities made available to them by the PPPC administration over the past 2 decades. Advancement has also been made at the international level, where Amerindians represent their country.
The health sector can be considered as a training institution, since Guyanese are afforded the opportunity to pursue medical training in a number of fields, including medicine, nursing, and surgery at the postgraduate level, midwifery, dentistry, and technicians. All of these ensure efficient delivery of healthcare. A message from the Government Information Agency.
The Women of Worth program, a microcredit scheme introduced to lift the economic standing of especially single parents, has transformed the lives of over 2,300 women. Tapping into the loan facility has enabled them to better their and their families' lives.
Great improvements have been made in road construction and rehabilitation under the Hinterland Road program. In the Moruca sub-region, Region 1, 60 miles of road was rehabilitated and constructed, while in Region 4, 12 miles of the St. Cuthbert's Trail has been transformed into an all-weather road.
Works on the long stretch of road leading to the Amila Falls hydropower project is forging ahead with the June completion deadline in sight. An eager President Ramotar and the company of a team of officials made a spot check on January 14. An insight into the state of preparations on the physical infrastructure was made possible by a helicopter reconnaissance, which the President and a team that included Minister of Public Works Robeson Ben and Technical Advisor Walter Willis undertook. Beginning from the Mabura Trail into the Essequibo River, the team descended at Butakari for a first-hand inspection of the river crossing conditions before continuing the aerial journey up the Koibrong River into an area described as critical in order to access the falls. Minister Ben, who had returned from the trip, spoke of some interventions that were spotted.
We have to make some adjustments to meet the timings which are required for substantial completion by June 6th.
The project had suffered a major setback when the government was forced to terminate the contract awarded to Phip Motilal of Synergy Holdings for failing to meet certain criteria under the terms of the contract awarded to him. The Amila Falls project is one of several priority projects under Guyana's low-carbon development strategy that is projected to be the main source of electricity generation in Guyana, simultaneously reducing the cost to consumers. Financial closure is still pending.
We still have not closed all the financial arrangement, but we are working hard, and I hope by the second or third quarter of this year that we can conclude on that. And that too, I'm sure you're aware, is a very important and transformative project.
Constantly, the government has been defending the project in the face of widespread media speculation and criticism from the main opposition political parties that used their one-seat majority to cut funding allocated to the project in last year's budget. Talks at the political and multi-stakeholder levels have begun with the 2013 budget approaching. On January 16, the head of state met opposition leader David Granger and the Partnership for National Unity Member of Parliament Joe Harmon. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh has already been tasked with extensive budget consultations with interest groups beginning January 11. It is a process President Ramotar had only recently expressed hope will be meaningful.
Preparatory work has to be done on budget long before, but in the final analysis we can still do some work on it. You recall that we were negotiating with the PNC, with the APNU and AFC even after the budget was presented last year. So I'm not pessimistic that we can still work and have meaningful consultation on this.
Talks on the national budget had featured prominently minutes after President Ramotar had become Guyana's next president following the November 2011 general elections. Subsequent to last year's budget of $192.8 billion, talks had continued after the government had conceded to requests made by the opposition for follow-up meetings with APNU and the Alliance for Change to address reservations they had about the 2012 estimates. The government's agreement had come with a request that the opposition document their concerns and present them in advance of the talks. But following a heated debate in the parliament, it ended with $20 billion being cut from the budget, crippling key government programs and agencies and leaving many in despair. You are watching The Diary, more still ahead.
The health sector can be considered as a training institution since Guyanese are afforded the opportunity to pursue medical training in a number of fields, including medicine, nursing, and surgery at the postgraduate level, midwifery, dentistry, and technicians. All of these ensure efficient delivery of healthcare. A message from the Government Information Agency.
The Women of Worth program, a microcredit scheme introduced to lift the economic standing of especially single parents, has transformed the lives of over 2,300 women. Tapping into the loan facility has enabled them to better their and their families' lives.
Great improvements have been made in road construction and rehabilitation under the Hinterland Road program. In the Moruca sub-region, Region 1, 60 miles of road was rehabilitated and constructed, while in Region 4, 12 miles of the St. Cuthbert's Trail has been transformed into an all-weather road.
Demands from the heavy volume of traffic with goods and people daily and the difficulties West Demerara commuters face in accessing transportation during the after-work hours has prompted a feasibility study for a new Demerara River crossing. This was according to the head of state. This year, the Ministry of Public Works will prioritize the completion of a feasibility study for a new Demerara Harbour Bridge. Public Works Minister Robeson Ben had only recently been tasked with crafting a plan for the new crossing and other issues to address the challenges in the area of transportation.
The need for a new crossing, I think, is there because of the volumes of traffic and the movement of goods and people. And I'm very much aware also of some of the difficulties that people have with transportation, the new housing schemes that we have made and people moving and traveling.
Concerns about the lifespan of the almost 3.5-decade-old Demerara Harbour Bridge had seen former President Barra Jagdeo calling for an immediate repairs in 2008 after making some spot checks and identifying several flaws that he had described as almost criminal. This year will also see the fabricating of 4 extra-large pontoons, 2 of which will be used for bridge maintenance works, purchase shields, shackles and connecting posts, clamps and continue replacement of ankle chains. The bridge, which last year was closed for emergency repairs due to a section that was submerged, had undergone tremendous maintenance and rehabilitation with a $270 million capital funding its operation. Vehicles traveling the bridge minus the 3 days it was closed for emergency repairs accounted for 6.5%. A promising program of cooperation that has been ongoing between the Guyana Defense Force and the Florida Air National Guard over the years was reviewed and possible future initiatives assessed when a military chief in Florida met the President and other top-ranking officials on January 17. Adjutant General of Florida, Major General Emmett Titcher Jr. met President Ramotar at a time when a partnership between the Guyana Defense Force and the Florida Air National Guard has seen assistance in capacity building. Major General Titcher, who assumed the duties as the Adjutant General of Florida in June 2010, is looking forward to growth in the military partnership.
We assist the GDF, the Defense Force, in building some of their capabilities. We like to leverage some of the things that we've learned in the Florida National Guard in the way of disaster response, medical response, things of that nature that we feel we can benefit the nation here.
The partnership will promote events where Florida National Guard soldiers and airmen will visit Guyana to continue working relations with their counterparts in Guyana. Last year, August, a team of water purification specialists under the Florida Army National Guard made an assessment of water purification systems, equipment status, and operations to assist the GDF in a plan that can be used to direct future resources. That same year, the 13th Army Band Florida National Guard participated in a subject matter export exchange with the GDF Band Corps as part of the National Guard's State Partnership Program. Major General Titcher Jr., who previously served as a special assistant to the Director of Air National Guard, was accompanied by the U.S. Ambassador to Guyana, Brent Hart, and other officials of the base in Florida. Do stay with us, there is more of the diary.
Great improvements have been made in road construction and rehabilitation under the Hinterland Road Program. In the Moruca Sub-Region, Region 1, 60 miles of road was rehabilitated and constructed, while in Region 4, 12 miles of the St. Cuthbert's Trail has been transformed into an all-weather road.
The Women of Worth program, a microcredit scheme introduced to lift the economic standing of especially single parents, has transformed the lives of over 2,300 women. Tapping into the loan facility has enabled them to better their and their families' lives.
The health sector can be considered as a training institution since Guyanese are afforded the opportunity to pursue medical training in a number of fields, including medicine, nursing, and surgery at the postgraduate level, midwifery, dentistry, and technicians. All of these ensure efficient delivery of healthcare. A message from the Government Information Agency.
Amerindians are now fully involved in every aspect of development from the highest level of decision making to that of their communities. Amerindians have been catapulted into the mainstream of society because of the educational and other opportunities made available to them by the PPPC administration over the past 2 decades. Advancement has also been made at the international level where Amerindians represent their country.
The meeting of the Multi-Stakeholder Committee set up in 2009 to oversee the consultation and awareness process of Guyana's low-carbon development strategy convened on January 16 under the chairmanship of President Ramotar. The committee comprises senior government ministers and civil servants, including representatives from the Environmental Protection Agency, Guyana Forestry Commission, Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, Ministry of Amerindian Affairs, and the Office of Climate Change. Non-governmental representatives from the private sector and environment, Amerindian and associations of forests and miners are also on board. Its work over the years has been to provide input and guidance to the planning and execution of the subnational consultation and education and awareness activities, assist in information dissemination to constituencies, and assist in covering fora within constituencies to promote and discuss the strategy and provide feedback on Guyana's low-carbon development strategy. The LCDS, which Guyana has adopted in the ongoing effort to transform its economy on a low-carbon trajectory, has influenced a forest carbon partnership with the government of Norway that has to date earned Guyana $115 million. The head of state joint staff of the Government Information Agency gathered for a retreat at the Guyana International Conference Center on January 15 for a review of its performance and an outline of plans for the future. He delivered a charge to the agency that highlighted the importance of its role in the Guyanese society and outlined areas where efficiency, timeliness, and the promotion of government's policies and programs can be accomplished. He also stressed the importance of training as a way in which the state media can build the cadre of professionals needed. The President's charge came after staff of the agency engaged in meaningful group interaction and a lecture facilitated by Dr. Robin Deodat. Certificates were handed out to participants for the workshop, including special awards. That's all in this week's edition of the Diary for the period January 12 to 18. The highlights before we go: Road to Amila Falls racing to June deadline. The President meets opposition leader ahead of the 2013 national budget, and the U.S. military chief meets the head of state. Do join us next week when we bring you more. I am Fabian Kraus, thanking you for joining us. Do have a safe and pleasant rest of the week.